All right, hey, welcome 621st AMAG. We thank you for all that you do, and we want you to know that you matter. We care about you, and we care about what you're doing and how you're getting after things, even through COVID-19 operations, at home, and as you're starting to come back in, as the warms start, and coming into the buildings again, putting back on the uniform potentially. We appreciate that transition and understand how that is working with your families and with you. And we just appreciate what you do, and we want you to know that you matter. If you need us at all, we're always here for you as a leadership team, and of course your squadron leadership is always there for you today. We wanted to talk about a few things. We're going to have both our superstar chiefs talk to you about a few things, and then we're going to go over, first though, we want to go over award winners, and then we're going to talk about our SecDef memo that just came out that we've been waiting for, and PT. And then we'll just have some closing remarks. But first, we wanted to give you guys a shout out to all of the winners that we've just had. Of course, you guys know that you have a Rockstar squadron that you're in, and a Rockstar group, and a Rockstar wing. So we appreciate you guys being a vital part of that, an integral part of that. So the AMD Theater C2 award winner was the 321 AMOS. Woohoo! We want to give them a shout out. And also, Sergeant Hagens from the 621 AMOS won the AMD Theater C2 Enlisted Award. So let's give Sergeant Hagens, thanks for rocking it, all right, out there. And then the Officer Award was Captain Faye from the 321 AMOS. Woohoo! All right, great job. We got some wing winners too. So our wing FGO over the quarter, for the first quarter, was Major Stephen White. Yeah! All right, great job, Stephen, man. You're crushing it out there with the 818. That's awesome. And then also, we had the Devil Raider Team of the Quarter, January through March, and that's with the 621 MSOS. All right. We'll be getting these awards to you very, very soon. Also, we had, and this is the first time that we're announcing this, 2019 Colonel Gail Halverson Award for the group. And we think it's going to be the wing winner. We'll see. But for the group winner, and the nominee is Sergeant Hector Montoya from the 321. Great job, guy. Appreciate you. All right. So those are some of the awards that you guys keep on winning. And first of all, I wanted to talk to you in my comments about the SecDef memo. So, you know, we've been waiting for this memo to come out, but and I'm just going to read a lot of it because it's kind of important to get it perfect. But the new SecDef memo provides guidance for commanders on a risk-based changing of HPCon during COVID-19. This is the redelegation memo from the SecDef that we've been waiting for. This guidance by itself does not automatically trigger a change in HPCon, and that's important to know. We are all still on track for a slow transition in 1 July. An important part of the memo states, commanders may set HPCon levels that are more stringent than surrounding community requirements, based on mission and other risk considerations. Setting HPCon levels that are less stringent must first be reviewed by the next higher commander in the chain of command. Commanders shall coordinate changes in HPCon levels with other DoD installations in their local commuting area to facilitate consistencies. As you know, we're a global group, a global wing, so what this really means is that someone in Travis could have different rules, an airman in Travis could have different rules than an airman at McGuire or one of our AMLOs out in the 20-plus operating locations that they're in. So just hold fast, make sure that we're sticking with the guidance from the installation, because that's the most important thing. And staying safe and staying healthy is the most important thing for us and for you. All right, PT. So this is probably a really good thing. We started talking about PT a while back and saying, hey, we really still need to stay fit, because when we start back to PT tests, we don't want to have a hard road back. And hopefully you're doing that. I just ran a virtual 5K with the 571 MSAS. You might be asking, what's a virtual 5K? Well, I'll tell you. That's a great question. A virtual 5K is basically we were on Zoom, and we actually ran the 5K, but we were all on Zoom, and I will tell you that I am not ready to run my mile and a half like I'm usually ready to run my mile and a half. So I need to get back out there and run as well. But as it states in the new PT memo, we're not going to test this year until 1 October, potentially. And then when we start back up, it'll be starting back up from whatever test you normally take, either annually or 6 months. And there's some other details that I really encourage you to read and ask questions if you have questions on them with your leadership teams in the squadron. But again, it's a 1 year, basically a 1 year test that we're going to roll. So if I have my test, which is in July, I will not have to test until July 2021. And then my waist measurement, our waist measurements will not count until 2022 is the way I understand it. But read the PT memo for yourself, make sure you're smart on it, and please, 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 fitness is more about you, and it's more about your health than anything else, and being ready to do the mission. So take care of yourself, take care of the mission like you always do, and we really appreciate that. Also, this is, as I said, Chief Corey and mine's last time to really address you until Chief's retirement and Chief Corey's retirement and my change of command. Chief Corey will be retiring on 12 June, and that's going to be awesome. So hopefully you can tune into that as well. And then I will be handing the guidon over to Colonel Morrison on 9 July. So we're looking forward to those two events as well. But without any further ado, I'm going to kick it over to Chief Corey for his comments.
Hey, thanks, boss. I greatly appreciate it. Again, just like the boss said, we could not be more proud of each and every one of you. Those awards that we had today that he named off at the top levels, really. We got people all the way up at the MAGCOM level, and we've seen several different awards at the half level this past year. So you guys are all killing it. It's going to be tough to leave here. The boss mentioned that I will be retiring on 12 June, hopefully, this time. It'll be a short thing. With everything going on, the intent is that I'm still heading out the door and I'm going to miss y'all. That being said, we want to talk about a couple important things. The boss did mention the fitness. Fitness, like he mentioned, is not changing, right? I mean, we still have to be fit. We have to be fit to fight. We have to be ready to go at any moment's notice. But what the boss wanted me to add on was also that we are looking at potentially keeping the measurement portion off until 2021. And the reason for that is the social distancing. You have to get up and close to somebody in order to do the measurement for that. So 2021, I think, is when they're going to start that. But again, these are things that you should definitely read up on, be smart about, because it's important to know those types of things. But the first thing I really want to talk about is SAPR. Obviously, your commanders and your leadership will be doing a more in-depth type of dive into this. I think small team, group teams of around 10 personnel. But it's still something that we want to continue to beat the drum about and make sure that you all know. First and foremost, the SAPR program is so vital. It's so important that each and every one of you know about it, because sexual assault is not one gender. It's not one culture. It's not. I mean, it happens across the board. And so we want each and every one of you to know that that if something happens to you that you didn't expect or it was unwanted and unconsented, that you can come forward. And so the big tenets of that is that sexual assault is not part of the Air Force core value system. There are obviously the unrestricted and restricted reports. We'll talk a little bit about those briefly, but again, the deep dive you're going to get is going to be with your squadron leadership teams. What I want you to remember is that SAPR, or sexual assault is anything that's unconsented, right? If you didn't consent to it because you were drinking too much, or you were tired, or you just weren't paying attention, that doesn't make it all right. And we really, really prefer that you come forward. You'll be treated with mutual respect, trust, and dignity. And we'll do everything in our powers to keep it private. That's one of those tenets of the program. That being said, consent. We talk about consent. I don't know if you've all seen the video prior, but there's a video that talks about consent and tea, and it's a little way to demonstrate how simple the idea is, with a stick figure basically drinking tea or being forced to drink tea, and obviously if they say they want tea and then they change their mind, It's really a simple little thing, but it is a great video. So please look it up on YouTube and check it out. But bottom line, consent is something you give freely. And if you don't give it freely, then you should not be taken advantage of in any way. And that includes if you previously dated somebody or had, a previous experience with somebody. That doesn't make it automatic that you have consent at a different point in time. And so remember that. Never, never, never assume consent. And that's from the other side too, right? Treat people with dignity and respect and understand that people change their minds. That's what I want each and every one of you to know and think about. As far as the unrestricted versus restricted, again, an unrestricted can be investigated. The commanders and the authorities kind of know all about that. The restricted report can be given to a SARC, the Sexual Assault Response Coordinator, a victim advocate for the SAPR program, a volunteer advocate, and or a healthcare. So if you go to the emergency room or you go talk to your doctor, you schedule an appointment, those are the people that can do a restricted report. Remember that, please. And also remember that mandatory report. If you tell your commander, if you tell your supervisor, somebody in your chain of command, first sergeant, those types, we are mandatory reporters. We have to tell and initiate an investigation. It doesn't change the fact that you still have mutual respect, that with dignity and privacy and all those types of things. So that information will not be shared to the max extent possible. We just want to figure out who the offender was and make sure that it's dealt with in an expeditious, investigated and dealt with however it has to. The other things I want you to think about is all the available resources. You've got special victims counselors, you've got the SARC, you've got the SAPR, the victim advocates. You've got one source. You've got military mental health. You have the chaplain. You have the DoD safe line. At any point, you can reach out to each and every one of these and get the help that you need. And really, one of the things I've said from the start is it's okay not to be okay. So if something happens that you need help, please reach out and let us know. If you do an unrestricted report, remember that there's some benefits. There's expedited transfer. In other words, we can get you to a new location, a PCS, so that you can kind of start over. Sometimes when something traumatic happens in a location, you can't forget it. Every time you see that location, every time you see that street corner, whatever it is, it's something that bothers you, it triggers, right? I mean, it happens with car accidents and other things as well, where you have a flashback and you're just not comfortable, you don't feel safe. And so what we'll do is we'll try to get you to your next duty location, we'll get you out of that type of thing so there's no triggering events. And also remember that there's military protective orders and those types of things that we can do. As long as we know that that's unrestricted, we can pursue some legal actions to help you and take care of you so that you're safe. The final thing is non-rated periods. If by chance there's a period of time that you aren't well and we can't put you on an EPR or OPR, we can do that as well. Something else to think about, there's some new programs. We're trying to get after these repeated offenders. And in order to do that, there's a program called Catch. And what Catch does is it allows you to anonymously report those types of things. So you can still have a restricted report and yet still go after the perpetrator and hopefully get to the bottom and stop those actions. Oftentimes people that do these types of things repeat it, and we want to take care of everybody. Again, fostering a mutual trust, an organization that has mutual trust for each and every one of you. The very worst thing that can happen is a blue on blue, and that's one airman assault another airman. But any assault is serious, and we take them all very seriously. Finally, you are protected from any reprisal and those types of things. So I want you to keep thinking about that. One of the tenets, again, we talked military and family, and really why I'm still here, is because we take care of one another. So intervene, right? We talk about the green dots and being able to stop something bad from happening at any given point. Please remember that it might take you just a second to pull somebody out of a bad situation, somebody drinking too much, or somebody that's doing something or not really paying attention to what somebody else is doing, right? I mean, there have been numerous occasions where somebody will slip drugs and those types of things, somebody leaves the drink on a countertop or something of that nature. By you intervening, you'll protect somebody and really carry on that trust and mutual respect that we have for one another. So please, I encourage that. Create a healthy environment. The other thing I want to talk about or mention is, and it's related but not exactly the same, is sexual harassment. I would like to say that it's kind of a slippery slope. When people start allowing sexual harassment in the workplace, when they allow individuals to do sexual harassment and start doing, whether it's pictures or different comments or jokes, those are things that happen. So I want you to please think about that as well. Finally, we want to say that you matter. The boss and I agree to that. Everything that we do, we want it done for whatever's best for you. So you matter. We're here to take care of you. I'm going to miss y'all when I leave. And with that, I'd just like to say farewell. But before I do that, I'm going to introduce my new counterpart coming in, Chief Master Sergeant Matt Collins-Ridge. Thanks.
Thanks, Chief Corey. Thanks, Colonel Kirk. So first off, let me take a minute to congratulate our award winners. Outstanding job. Amazing job this quarter and throughout the year. So I'm Chief Matt Collingridge. I've been in the wing for about 18 months now. I was down at the 61 CRSS and also part of the CRG. I was sitting in for Chief Dirksen for a few months. So I am extremely proud and honored to be part of the AMAG. Taking over for Chief Corey is a big shoes to fill. He was pretty tall. I think he wears about a size 13, 14. So my bad dad joke for the day. But it's since I got here 18 months ago, Chief Corey has been a mentor for me, taking me under his wing as a new chief and helped me out quite a bit. So I just wanted to give a shout out to him and thank him for everything he's done for me. Facilitated, a lot of things in my most recent career and helped me out. So I'm extremely proud to be here. Like I said, a little background on me. I grew up in just south of Boston, Massachusetts. So if you were hoping to lose a Pats fan or a Red Sox fan, you're getting another one. Sorry to say. But my background is in communications. So I was a computer programmer when I came in. I've done a few career specialties throughout my career field, throughout my career. As a military training leader, and also is a Department of Defense courier. So what I'm here for, and this is some of the stuff that Chief Corey has done, and I'm trying to lead, take over where he left off. I'm here to serve you. Bottom line, that's my job. So whatever that's. If that's advocacy at the wing, the host installation within your functional community, we have in the AMAG a very unique and distinct mission. We have uniquely qualified airmen, and I'm here to serve you. So whatever that means. If that means developmental, progression and helping you in your career, whatever needs to be done is I'm here for. So please know that you have a resource in me. So one of the other things I'm here for is maintaining quality of life. Ensuring that I speak to Colonel Cook, our commander, and let him know of quality of force and quality of life indicators. One of those that we need to be aware of, and it's got a lot of attention over the past couple of years, is suicide awareness. So we build with the COVID-19 pandemic, we have really entered into uncharted waters. This is a time that's different for all of us. It's nothing that any of us in our lifetime have experienced before. It has brought a unique set of challenges to the way that we work, to the way that we operate, to the way we execute our mission. So what I would say is, as we start to transition back in, we're going to do it slowly. We're going to do it purposely. Be aware of what your airmen are going through and what you are going through as well. Dynamics and families have changed over the past few months. Folks are operating differently. They're not used to being in work, and that presents a whole set of challenges that we're going to have to be aware of. These are different stressors that you need to be aware of in yourself and your airmen. So please be aware of those stressors, know some of the warning signs, know when to take action, and of course, know your resources, know those resources for your airmen. So we are here as your leadership team, your group leadership team. We also have, obviously you have some amazing squadron leadership teams as well that help you out, first sergeants and supervisors. But know all the resources you have available with your base and local agencies. Bottom line, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Make sure you're building your resiliency, whether that's with PT and getting back after it. Your physical resiliency, your mental resiliency, your spiritual resiliency. We need to build up those pillars again. So COVID-19 is going to be a slow transition back, like I said, but we can get after it together. So thank you, and I'll transition over to Colonel Cook for closing comments. Have a great day.
Thanks, Chief Colin Rich, for those great remarks. And I just want to piggyback on that. So no matter what you're going through, you don't have to suffer alone. Please just tell somebody, talk to somebody. You absolutely matter. And no matter how many times we say it, and I think that most people understand my background with suicide and potentially have read the article that I wrote for Travis Air Force Base and the tailwinds there. But I just lost somebody very close to me to suicide, so it still hits home, and it's really a needless tragedy because nobody should feel that they should believe the lie that they don't matter, that the world is better off without them, because that's not true. It's a lie. This world is better off with you in it, and you absolutely matter, and you're making a difference, and you're making a difference in the AMAG. So thank you so much for what you do. And Chief Corey and I just wanted to give some closing remarks. So, you know, obviously I'm a big dad jokes guy, so I was going to ask you, you know, what's the longest word in the English dictionary? Does anybody know? No? Smiles. Smiles is the longest word because there's a mile between the S's. Anyways, so that's my one dad joke for the day. Hopefully it made you chuckle a little bit, or maybe you're throwing something at your screen right now, which is understandable. But hey, I'm a dad, so that's what I do. Anyways, we just wanted to say goodbye to you, Chief Corey and I, and we really appreciate it. It's been the greatest honor of my life to be able to stand before you as your commander. And I couldn't have had a better wingman to have this time together the last couple of years. And we've done some amazing things. We've gotten after some amazing things in the mission, and we've seen some amazing airmen. All of you are amazing airmen, rising up and taking over in promotions. We've seen some great jobs that you guys got picked up for to go to. And we're just so blessed and so excited for you. And if you ever need anything, reach out to me. Reach out to Chief Corey.
We're out here for you.
And absolutely. And so, anyways, we have a QRC code that's supposed to be floating around somewhere. This is the old school version. This is what Chief Corey and I would do back in the day, you know, but I think PA is going to like put a link somewhere so you can just click it, or if you wanted to zoom that, or Zoom is actually a thing now. But if you wanted to make your screen bigger and do a QRC code click on your phone off of the video, you could probably do that as well, I think, right?
Absolutely. That's how it works. Hey, thanks so much. Like the boss said, we've loved our tenure here. We're going to miss each and every one of you. Remember to take care of one another.